husband tweeted after Justice Brett Kavanaugh left a Washington restaurant due to protesters. The tweet reads, "Sounds like he just wanted some privacy to make his own dining decisions." Is that appropriate, sir?
Look, when public officials go into public life, we should expect two things. One, you should always be free from violence, harassment, and intimidation. And two, you're never going to be free from criticism or peaceful protest, people exercising their First Amendment rights. Okay. And that's what happened in this case. Remember, the justice never even came into contact with these protesters, reportedly didn't see or hear them. And these protesters are upset because a right, an important right that the majority of Americans support, was taken away.
Yeah, that's right. That's how you answer a response. That's Pete Buttigieg. Yeah, because he was letting that Fox News interviewer letting him know that, hey, I'm not going to fall into your games here. I'm not playing games with you, Fox News. And that's also, this is really, really good. You should watch the rest of this clip, which we will play for you. How you handle someone who is largely engaged in nonsense when it comes to an interview, but also how you stand up for First Amendment rights, which is something that Buttigieg continued to do in this interview. Watch.
Settled case law in the United States has been that the Constitution protected a right to privacy, and that has now been thrown out the window by justices, including Justice Kavanaugh, who, as I recall, swore up and down in front of God and everyone, including the United States Congress, that they were going to leave settled case law alone. So yes, people are upset. They're going to exercise their First Amendment rights, and as long as that's peaceful, that's protected. Compare that, for example, to the reality that as a country, right now, we're reckoning with the fact that a mob summoned by the former president,
all right, well, let me follow up, Mr. Secretary,
attacked the United States Capitol for the purpose of overthrowing the election and very nearly succeeded in preventing the peaceful transfer of power. But I think common sense can tell the difference.
But as a high-profile public figure, sir, are you comfortable with protesters protesting when you and your husband go to dinner at a restaurant?
Protesting peacefully outside in a public space? Sure. Look, I can't even tell you the number of spaces, venues, and scenarios where I've been protested. And the bottom line is this. Any public figure should always, always be free from violence, intimidation, and harassment, but should never be free from criticism or people exercising their First Amendment rights.
That would only be something that'd be consistent with the First Amendment. So I really appreciate Pete Buttigieg not falling into this line of questioning, because this really has nothing to do with what his husband did or did not tweet. The fact remains that if you are a public servant, you should be fit and ready for criticism, and you should not look to curb people's First Amendment rights because you can't hang. That ain't how it works. You work for we the people. Jessica.
Yeah, the moment a public official thinks that they are above public criticism, it becomes very obvious to the public that they are not interested in serving them, which is absolutely what's happening here. And it's actually nice to see Pete Buttigieg, who's someone who's very powerful, not engage in the kind of pearl clutching that we've seen. Like, hey, don't bother people, in enjoying their private life out at a steak dinner. It's really nice to see him say something to the opposite effect, that actually people are exercising their First Amendment right here. And what he did in response to Fox is nothing extraordinary, but I think we're so used to seeing Fox News invite people on who are very smart people who just get trapped in a certain line of questioning because of course Fox is inviting you on to push a certain agenda. And what he does really well here is not accept the framing of the question, actually provide the facts of the story, keep his calm. He didn't look flustered at all here. And in fact, the person asking the line of questioning ended up looking pretty flustered here. And so I think if you're gonna go on Fox and you're going to give an interview, you need to make sure you do those things. And especially what was good here is he didn't use partisan language or the kind of language that's typical of the left in these situations, which I think is also additionally good for reaching Fox's audience.